Hey there guys, I think it's about time I got on with doing one of these videos. So, I've been meaning to branch out into the other health stuff that I look at and all that sort of thing for this channel for quite a while, but I haven't quite got round to it. So I figure why not start now, recently I've been making some progress on the front with this kind of stuff again, and not as if I haven't made any progress in the past, but I feel weird about talking about health issues without, like with the tinnitus stuff. Originally, I was going to leave doing those videos until I'd gotten going with the channel, like basically doing gaming stuff or music stuff. Entertainment channels tend to be the ones that get quite big on YouTube. I figured I was going to do that, get a significant amount of viewers or whatever, down the line, and then use that to start spreading the word about tinnitus and things like that. And I also felt weird doing videos on it because I hadn't made massive progress at the time. I don't like being one of those people that, funny enough on this topic, like with obesity, as you can probably tell from the title, that's what it's going to be about, but, a lot of people, they read about something on the net, they practice it for a week or two, they get slight bits of results, and then they start preaching about it to other people without really knowing what the hell they're on about. They get a tiny bit of an inkling of something and they think that's it. They know all there is to know on it, or they've cracked it, and they run with that and they start putting out copies of the information they've got. It's why the internet's so saturated with bad information. It's why looking up stuff like tinnitus is a fucking nightmare. Because there's that much stuff out there that is just regurgitations of other things that you get. It's just completely saturated with basic info that probably isn't helpful, and that's a big deal with obesity, especially because there's so many people in the modern environment that are struggling with their weight for reasons I'll get into on other videos. So yeah, I've been hesitant about, like I say, we're doing the tinnitus videos. I originally wasn't going to start doing them as quickly as I did. I'm bloody glad I did. It's gone incredibly well. That's the main thing my channel is, known for, or whatever. It's getting going for. That's the main reason most of you are subscribed, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm incredibly proud to be able to, have some positive info going. But like I say, I like to know what I'm talking about with stuff before I start, spouting off to people about it. So with the tinnitus stuff, the fact that it improved at all when I started to put the information into practice, that was all I needed to know that it was going to work. With the rest of the info I had, that I'd accumulated over the years already on, the subject of how the body works, I knew it was just a case of putting it more and more into practice and letting time take care of the rest. And I've been completely right on that front so far, So yeah, on about the obesity stuff. Basically, the reason why I haven't done videos on it already is I still have, a fair old amount of weight that can come off. I'm definitely not in the obese or overweight type category like that anymore. But because at my heaviest I was about 18 stone. I wasn't 18 stone for very long. Funny enough, it was a diet that put me in that place, and if that seems confusing to you, I'll explain it in other videos. There really is that much to get into, and if you think I've rambled on other videos so far, you haven't seen anything yet. This is a massive subject. But I'm certain I already said it in the video, or maybe it was the previous take, but my mic was feeding back, so, I'll cut that one. Forgive me if I'm getting a bit confused on it. But the reason I was able to put into practice the stuff that I learned from the tinnitus, the big moment for me was just twigging focus on the nervous system, which I got from watching Julian Cohen-Hill's videos. Once I'd done that, I could quite easily apply it with the rest of the information I have on how the body works, because I spent, must have been a decade researching obesity in one form or another. I'd say it was a concentrated 3 or 4 years of looking through genuine information, not just sort of having a go at it, which is the category I put a lot of people talking about obesity in. But yeah, so this is a massive subject to get into, and I really do want to start doing videos on it because I'm making more progress with it recently after it had been plateaued for a while, that sort of thing, because fundamentally obesity is about emotional issues. It's about the hormonal system getting in balance, the endocrine system, if you want to get semi-technical, and you need to rebalance that in much the same way I talk about with the tinnitus videos. If any of you are watching this that have watched my tinnitus videos, you will be seeing a lot of similar concepts and ideas going on. And the reason for that is they're all symptoms of the modern environment. There's way too much Well, so many things. You know, the food is terrible for one. That's a big factor with obesity. The quality of the food is really poor. And again, I can make the argument, you know, the medical community, all that, they don't know what they're doing with it. They're sort of the basic way they do it is they look in a lab, they study the one specific thing they're doing, they see results in the lab with this in this incredibly controlled environment. Like, a lot of studies are done on rats, you know, and there'll be short-term studies for the most part, you know, I don't think it even counts 6 months with a rat study, but you know, it long-term as defined in a study is not long-term in terms of applying it to reality. If you get a study on obesity that lasts for weeks or months, it's probably not going to be relevant for applying it to decades, you know, to a person that's going to live to be 60 or 70 or 80. You know, it just doesn't apply. So a lot of what's going on with doctors and scientists and that, looking for, sugar's bad, we need a replacement thing, you know, something that will satisfy the taste part of it for people, you know, so those silly fat people won't overeat, you know, all this patronizing, stupid shit on the subject. You know, this idea that it's just because food tastes nice that you get obese. No one gets to 500 pounds overweight, like is happening a lot in the modern environment, just because of a discipline problem, or any of these things. You know, I could rant for hours about it, because I've seen, you know, I spend a lot of time researching it, looking at people, you know, talking with people to a fair degree. This was before I really got into social media, but seeing people's stories about how they were dealt with by the medical community. And us tinnitus sufferers, you know, we have it bad when we deal with doctors, because there's no help they can really offer. So you get told, you'll have to learn to live with it. Imagine being told it's your fault. Imagine being told it's you with a discipline problem. You're failing at something at life, and that's why you've got tinnitus. That's exactly what people with high levels of obesity go through, because the medical community is struggling so much with this ailment, this specific one, and it's so common. They don't know what to do about it. They can't. All they know is that they have to get the numbers to start coming down. The research they're going on seems promising in a lab, but it does not pan out when you apply it to reality. So you have 90 to 95% of people failing, big quote marks on that, at dieting. And like I say, when I really put on the weight, it was after I dieted, you know, and I'll get into that. It's another subject, really. It's a big one to get into. A lot of people say, you just didn't keep it up, that sort of thing. There's a lot more going on than just that. So anyone watching this, if you think calories are the be-all, end-all for dealing with obesity, you're wrong. It's just plain and simple. That is not where the focus should be. There is so much more going on with this ailment to deal with. So yeah, the basic point I wanted to get at with this first video was I'm going to start getting into these videos, the different sides of it with obesity, and I want to start growing a community, much in the way we've started to together with the tinnitus stuff, about focusing on the positive things with it and what you can realistically do to genuinely improve, not cope, to really fix it. I want to start helping grow a community like that about obesity, because it's such a common issue. You know, anyone that doesn't have ad block, you will see adverts for it all the time on the net, that sort of thing. You know, lose weight, all this stuff. It's such a big issue and it needs addressing. So with my own experience, you know, so far I've lost, I'm down from 18. Recently it started up again. It had been settled at about 13.5 for about a year. So that was, 4.5 stone of weight loss with no diet, no exercise. You know, I'm incredibly lazy. Getting up to switch my laptop on is my activity in the day. So even though I'm not done losing weight yet, all that amount lost so far has been done with none of the medically recommended approaches. Nothing to do with it. No food restriction, no calorie counting, no exercise program, nothing like that. It's just dealing with the stuff I believe is the main focus, which, like I say, if you've watched my tinnitus videos, you've probably seen most of them. But yeah, and then recently, because it had been plateaued that long, for about a year, like I say, it had been clear to me, okay, there's something else going on that I'm overlooking, I need to look back, I need to reassess. And so I've been dealing with not just focusing on the physical side of it, which is what I had done so far, the physical stuff from an emotional connection. I've been focusing more on the direct emotional issues and the, demons, I guess you call them, that I have there. And it started to shift again with, no diet, no exercise, nothing like that. It started to move along for addressing it. It is a bit more active this time, looking at the stuff. I don't mean physical activity, I mean addressing the issues there. But yeah, and so the weight's flying off again. I was at about 13.5 at the start of the month. It's the 24th now, and I'm down just above 13 stone. So it's fairly quick weight loss, and I'll be interested to see how it goes. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble. But yeah, I want to start doing these videos about it. So anyone, if you got weight issues or you want to talk about the subject or weigh in with your own experience, please do. I'm looking to start growing a community focused on this, because this issue is going to get worse in the modern environment. It's increasing. The rates at which people are getting it, it's getting more and more common. We're getting bigger, more of us are doing it, getting obese and that sort of thing. And it's a big issue to deal with. And much in the way that doctors can't really help with tinnitus, they can't really help with obesity. And there are successes, there are things like that. It sounds like I'm painting a very negative picture. My point is the fundamental basic advice they give, you're not exercising enough, you're eating too much, you lack discipline, you lack willpower, whatever character flaw of the day it is they're saying you've got with obesity, they're wrong. There's much more to this story with it, and I really want to start getting into it with my own personal experience, what I've done, the information I've found, all those sorts of things. Because the info they give just isn't good enough. It doesn't apply to real life. Anything outside of a rat in a lab in an incredibly controlled environment, their information doesn't apply. And they do more harm than good with it. Like I say, with myself, when I really started to gain the weight, I was originally about 14 stone. I dieted it down to about just above 10. Something like that, and over the next year and a half, it shot right up like a rocket, up until it got to about 18 stone. And then, like I say, I started to look at the right areas and things. The things I had been studying started to come together, and it came down without any form of dieting or whatever, all that stuff. Already said it. So yeah, this is the first video. Please forgive me if it's a bit all over the place or lacking a general point. I'm just trying to dip me toes into doing these, because it is a massive subject to get into, and I don't know quite how I'm going to tackle it all yet. So yeah, again, please feel free to comment, talk about your own experiences, or ask me about mine in the comments below, whatever. I'm definitely going to be getting into this as soon as I find my feet with how to start. So yeah, hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.